Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be making a Mexican street corn inspired dish, and I'm going to show you how I make it, so I hope you stay tuned. So glad you stay tuned to see how to make this delicious corn, and trust me, you will love it. We love it. It's amazing. And we're going to be utilizing the air fryer. Remember when I unpacked it before? So this is the first video that we're making. Believe me, we have used this a lot. I love it. My husband loves it. We love it. It's one of the most thoughtful gifts. So we're going to be cooking our corn in the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, you can cook it in the oven. You can cook your corn on the grill, or you can boil it. However you cook corn, that's how you cook corn. But we're using the air fryer. So the main thing is after the corn is done, what we do to it after that point. So let's get started. We had 4 ears of corn that we cut in half. It will fit in the air fryer a little better, cut in half, and it's also smaller sizes. So, if you don't want a big whole piece of corn, you have a smaller one. Of course, you can keep your corn whole. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. You can use frozen corn. You might need to cook it longer if it's still frozen. If it's thawed, it shouldn't matter that you cook it at the same amount of time. So what I have done here is I've melted a stick of butter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat each ear and wrap it with foil, and then I'm going to stick it into the air fryer. Let me show you what the inside of the air fryer looks like. So I'm going to pack my corn in here, and we're probably going to cook it for about 20 minutes total. So let's get started. So let's do the first one. So I just have this silicone brush that I am brushing, and I do it over the foil so it gets on the foil. So let me move it over here. And I'm just going to wrap and add. Alright, so I'm not putting salt on here. Normally I would put salt if I'm just making corn on the cob. But we've got so many other seasonings, I don't want it heavily salted. So I'm just going to lay that in there, and I'm going to get another one done. Like so. So let's get all of these wrapped and into the air fryer. We're down to our last one. So I'm hoping I can get it in there. Pretty full. But yeah, this is kind of messy. So I recommend you have a paper towel handy. Alright, that's good and coated. Let's wrap this last one. And let's get it in here. Alright. wipe all this butter up here. All right, so the highest our air fryer will go is 400 degrees. If I was doing this in the oven, I would probably go up to 425 or 450. All right, so it's in here. So this is how we use ours. And we're gonna go up 400, and we wanna cook it for a total of 20. So I'm going to go ahead and set it for 20. Oops. It started on its own. Hold on. All right, let's do that again. 400, 20 minutes, start. Okay, so when it gets to about 10 minutes, which would be the halftime mark, anything you put in here, it lets you know when it's halfway done. So we're going to kind of rotate our corn at that point. So while that's cooking, we're going to make the yummy stuff that goes on the corn. So, let me wipe my hand here. So we have the butter that's left in the bowl, and I'm just going to leave that there. It'll add to the flavor. I'm going to get this out of the way for now. And what you're going to need for this is some mayonnaise. And I've measured out a cup of mayonnaise. So I'm going to get that into the bowl. I love mayonnaise. I think it adds a lot of flavor, and especially when you buy a good mayonnaise. We love Duke's. All right, so we've got that. So the next one, and I'm not sure if I know how to pronounce this correctly. I've always called it Tajin, but I know in Spanish the J is not pronounced like we pronounce the J. So if anybody knows for certain how this is pronounced, if you can let me know, I'd appreciate it. But we're going to add a teaspoon of this Tajin. And this is kind of salty, so that's why I'm not adding any more salt. All right, so I have a teaspoon of that. And I love dill weed. It just gives it a tang. There's a lot of things I put it on. This is delicious to me. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon of this as well. So I'm taking the shaker off so I can measure it out. So I have a teaspoon. And if you get a little more, it's okay. That's just going to give it that tang. Oh, it's going to be delicious. Put this back on. It smells good too. And then I am going to spice it up just a little bit with some chili powder. I'm going to put a teaspoon of that. And then we want to make it really tangy. So I've got some lime juice. You can use fresh lime juice if you want to. I have the bottle. I keep it on hand because we use it, this and lemon juice. So you just want the equivalent of 2 teaspoons of lime juice. You could use lemon if you want to. I think the lime is better though. So I got 2 teaspoons of lime juice. So I'm just going to mix this until it's well incorporated. And then we've got some time while our corn is cooking. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and let it chill for a little bit and let those flavors come together. And then I will be back shortly. So I've got this mixed well. This is what it looks like once it's mixed. And I'm going to put it in the fridge. And I'll come back when we're at the halfway mark on our corn. So be right back. Okay, so we're at the halfway mark. So what I'm going to do is just turn it a little bit. So I'm just going to flip them over like so. And when you put it back in there, it will resume the time. You know, when you have smaller things in here, sometimes, you know, like French fries or tater tots, you can just kind of shake it around and it'll be fine. This is kind of jam-packed in there. And Not everything is wrapped. Okay, one more piece right here. We're going to go with that. So I'm just going to stick this back in, and I just want to kind of explain. See, it's going to start back on its own, so it's got another 10 minutes to go. I like my corn a little firm, so if you want it a little softer, you can cook it a little longer. Now, the mixture that I made before we put that in, I did give it a taste, and I felt like it needed a little bit more, so I did add more lime juice, and I added more Tajin because we wanted it to taste tangy. And so we did achieve that. So I would play with it, taste it, see, what you like. And if it needs more tang, if you think it needs salt, whatever you need to add to it to make it your own. When we're cooking, you're creating a masterpiece that's your own. And I want you to look at your food. This corn is going to be a canvas per se, to make your own, so I want you to make it your own. Just because these are the ingredients we like, if there are things that you like, if there are seasonings that you want to try, experiment, try it for yourself. That's the art of cooking. Make it an experience. Don't just make it, you don't want boring. You have to live to eat, so you might as well enjoy it. And yes, I know I probably enjoy it a little too much, but we're working on that. But anyway, the point is, create flavors, experiment, add this seasoning, take that seasoning away if you don't like it, make it your own, and just be creative. Don't be afraid to be creative. You can do this. And if you have questions, I'm here for you. So we've got a few more minutes, so I'm going to let the corn cook, and then I will be back and I'll show you how we fix the rest of it, and you will have the most delicious corn you've ever had. So make sure you stay tuned. Okay, we're back, and the office just popped up, so our corn should be ready. Now I've got the mixture out, and what I'm going to do before we pull that out is we had some fresh cilantro that we chopped up. So I'm going to put it in this wider bowl here. And there's our timer. And I've got some Parmesan cheese. You could probably do cheddar cheese if you like, but we're just going to use this, and I'm just going to mix it all together. I'm not really measuring. I just want a good mixture here. The cilantro will give it some flavor and color. That might be a little much here. Let me put some more cheese in here. Okay. So here's the plan. I'm going to carefully unwrap it. We are going to spread the mixture that we made on the corn, and then we're going to roll it in our cheese and cilantro. Okay, so this is hot, so I don't really want it on my counter. So I'm just going to do one at a time. And remember, it is hot. Be very careful. Now, if you have skewers or the corn holders, please do that, but please be very careful. This is very hot. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just gonna put it on the corn, and I'm using the tongs to turn it because I don't have skewers. Be very generous and get it all over the corn here. Okay, I think that's good. So now I'm going to put it in our mixture here. Now, if you don't want all of this cilantro, you can just use cheese. Let me do one with just the cheese. Like I said, this is very hot, so please, please be very careful. If you want to let this cool off a little bit, you certainly can, because that steam is hot. All right, so you spread the mixture on the corn. Okay, and then I'm just going to put cheese on this one. Now, if you want to sprinkle a little parsley, you can do that. But here's two different ways. So we've got one with the cilantro and one with just the cheese. And I'm just going to let these sit a little bit, and I'm going to make the rest of them. So I hope you will try this recipe if you like it. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, and you'll know when I post another video. So until the next one, I hope you have a blessed, wonderful evening, and I'll see you later. Bye.